It is Friday, April 4th. We're about to meet my friend Michael at the track, and we have a weekend full of lots of training and a little bit of some fun in the sun. But come along, let's get it. Episode 1 of running a sub 3 marathon. We got a track session today. It's all about training hard, but also smart. Quality over quantity. We don't have a marathon that is anytime soon, but we do want to push the pace here a little bit while also maintaining a low heart rate. So we're not going to go any usual fast paces. We're really just going to focus on keeping the heart rate low and being able to sustain a pretty decent pace. We're probably looking around 6:45 to 7:10 max. We're not trying to go any lower than that, and we're not trying to go obviously any higher than that. 800 meter repeats with a 200 meter jog in between. Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been testing so much, all these restless nights, all these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a Benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of A to Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and roll Lex account of Blueface. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brother since 6th grade. G-Wagon red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I could like the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain, but thank God, cause we really on it.
Alright guys, we are headed to the gym now. We're gonna hit some lower and a little bit of some back. So we had a mandatory sun session before this. We are a little tired. Was not smart of me, but I mean, we're only lifting. We're not doing anything crazy. I don't really care when I have a gym session. Like, I'll lay out in the sun, whatever. But yeah, getting some sun is important to me. It makes me happy, and I gotta stay tan. Because if I'm tan, my performance levels are just tens across the board, and we like that. So biggest thing for me, especially as I'm now entering this whole marathon runner era, is to be jacked and tan. If we're not jacked and tan while we're running a marathon, especially if we plan to run a sub 3 marathon, I will not be happy. Jacked and tan, that's the only way. So let's go. you think I'm coming to the beach without a snack, you're wrong. We gotta stay fueled because we have a run coming up later this afternoon. And the sun does kind of wear you out, but all at the same time does give you energy. So we're going to take a little power nap after we're done eating this. Make sure we leave bronzed, way darker than we arrived, and then go home and we run. All right, I'm about to head out, but while I've been laying here in the sun, thoughts came to me as they always do while I'm toasting it up. One of the biggest things that I've learned over the past few years of being a competitive athlete is patience. Or I could still say that I'm very much still learning patience as being an athlete specifically. And when I say learning patience is learning to be patient with, most importantly, your work, right? Like being patient that the work that you're putting in is gonna pay off, and being patient with knowing when you're having your good days and you're feeling fast, you're feeling strong, whether if you're prepping for a marathon or you're prepping for a high rocks or you're prepping for a weightlifting meet. Just because you feel really good that day doesn't mean that you should go 100%, right? Not every day is going to be a PR day. Not every day is going to be a max out day in running and lifting, whatever it is that you're doing. Like I said, learning to be patient with that, because I often catch myself a lot in those moments where, especially in running, where I'm like, okay, I feel really good. Like I feel like my heart rate's really low in the middle of a 10-mile run, and I start pushing it. Instead of being at an 8-mile pace where I'm supposed to be for a zone 2 run, for an example, I'll start pushing towards like, a lower 7, or I get into the 6s, and I'm like, even though I feel really good in that run, it doesn't mean that I'm supposed to be there, right? It's being patient with what you're supposed to be doing, and all those things really matter when you're an athlete, right? Because then it leads into the next thing that I wanted to say, dealing with injuries, right? If you're sometimes not being patient with where you're supposed to be at your work, it can lead to injuries, it can lead to burnout, it can lead to constantly always just maxing out. And even though you feel great, it doesn't mean that it's gonna pay off in the long run. It usually doesn't, if I'm being honest, especially speaking from experience with CrossFit, because CrossFit is all about basically maxing out every single day. You're maxing out in the workouts you're doing, you're constantly pushing at 100%, you're sprinting every day, you're lifting very heavy every day. And my body felt the worst during those times. Even though it was very strong, very fit, I was constantly always stressed with my body. My cortisol levels were out the roof, and it just, even though I accomplished a lot in that sport, patience was not one of the things that I accomplished, and it led me to a lot of injuries and definitely it led me to burnout, which is why I'm no longer in the sport. I mean, it wouldn't be the complete reason why I'm no longer in the sport, but it definitely is one for sure. And when you're dealing with injuries, whether if you're having a good day and maybe your hamstring or whatever it is that is, off in your body, you're gonna have days where it does feel good, but it doesn't mean that you push in those days, right? Maybe that day you really actually take that as a sign to keep your injury feeling less, or not feeling hurtful, or not hurting you in any way, right? We don't want to push it. We don't want more inflammation in our body. All to say, again, it's hard to have patience when your body is feeling good, and also when you're feeling like you're in a crunch time and you have a competition coming up, or you have the marathon coming up, you feel like you should be running a lot or you should be training a lot, and you're not able to put in what you're supposed to be doing in the program, right? And that's with everybody. It's not just it's not just you. Trust me, everybody deals with injuries, deals with life most importantly. And but again, one of the biggest things as an athlete and just in general in life is patience. And if there's one thing that discipline and being competitive can teach you in the long run, is that. And it's one thing that I highly recommend, is to just remember, wherever you're at in your goals in life, in work, in training, to remember to sometimes dial it back and don't let your ego get in the way, and to have patience. All right, that's it. Now it's time to go run. Let's do it. We have 45 minutes, easy pace. Let's get it. How is it that these views never get old? This is my backyard every day. All right, we just finished mile 1. Right at 8:17, and we're sitting at a 144 heart rate, which is good. You want to keep that going, keep that flowing. All right, mile 2, 8:40. All right, one of the reasons I love to come and run at the Silver Lake Reservoir is because there's a lot of hill, which means there's also a lot of downhill, and the elevation's pretty high, at least for being in a neighborhood, you know? So that being said, we just finished mile 3 and we finished at 8:59. So I know that there was gonna be a lot of hill where I was running on my 3rd mile. So it's important to throttle back a little bit, pull the strings back, make sure that my heart rate stays below 150 entering that longer hill. And then when I enter that longer hill, I wanna focus on taking a really long breath through my nose, a big inhale through my nose, and then really trying to expand my belly, fill it up with air, push that air back so that I can get a longer inhale on the next. So it's really just focusing on big deep breaths, exaggerating that a little bit as I'm running those bigger hills. That is the main focus always on hills, is okay, how can I breathe better? How can I get more air? And how can I keep that heart rate as low as possible? So that when I start to hit that downhill, I can slowly recover that higher heart rate from the incline and go back to a nice good pace and a good average heart rate too. Remember, the point of this run today is just an easy pace, a low heart rate. Preferably zone 2 all the way. Mile 4, 8:40. Mile 5, 8:56. 5.15 miles complete, 45 minutes, easy and done. Average pace, 8:45. Heart rate,
149. Max heart rate, 170. Those hills got it up there. But hey, we're getting better. The goal for this run was to keep a zone 2 heart rate all the way through, whatever that easy pace was. We all have different easy paces on different days, different runs. You know, an easy pace doesn't always mean a zone 2 pace. It doesn't always mean you're jogging. It means easy for that day, and whatever the cadence may be, whatever hills you may run, the distance, all of it, stick to it. Remember earlier we talked about patience. Be patient with your work. Be patient on what you're supposed to follow. Be patient, most importantly, with your body. Another horrible view I have to see every single day living here. God, I have such a hard life. Nah, guys, I truly am blessed, and I'm lucky. I'm lucky, but every day I just want more, and I want to keep grinding. I want to keep getting better at life, and I want to make the people around me happy. All right, you guys, as I bring this video to a close, I hope that out of this vlog, the main thing that I want you to take out of this is to train smart and not just hard. This is progressive overload. This is quality over quantity. And most importantly, listen to your body. Like we just talked about, be patient with where you're at. Always be there for your body. Remember, it is an instrument. Take really good care of it. You only get one in this life, just like you only get one life. Make the most of it. Make the best of it. I'm going to listen to my body, and I'm going to stretch right now for a really long time. But that being said, I hope you enjoyed this vlog, and I really hope that you took something out of it. If I can do anything better, if I can educate and add value in some way, please let me know how I can do that. I'm learning always, but most importantly, I want to take you guys in this journey. But that was episode 1 of training for Sub 3 Marathon, and I will see you guys in the next vlog. Peace.